You know, if you go back to Apple in the mid 1990s, you see a company drowning in its own product line. They had half a dozen performer models that differed by a single feature, the Mac Centris, Quadra, and Mac LC lines that blurred together, PowerBooks that overlapped in price and purpose, and so many Macs on the shelf that even Apple employees couldn't explain the difference. The company had ideas, the Newton, the QuickTake camera, the Macintosh TV, concepts that were too early and never given the follow-through they needed. Apple was lost, complacent, exhausted by its own noise. Then Steve Jobs returned. He swept away the clutter, cut the product line to the bone, and rebuilt Apple around clarity, discipline, and vision. And those early failed concepts? Well, under Steve Jobs, when the technology and the market matured, they became the iPhone, the iPad, the Apple TV. The seeds finally found the right soil. But today, Apple looks a lot like 1993 again. We have 5 iPhones that overlap, a foldable version on the way, 5 different iPads that confuse even power users, Macs whose names no longer signal their purpose, and accessories that change ports and standards year after year. Apple even now has a sock-carrying bag for the iPhone. Come on, Apple. The simplicity that once defined Apple has slipped into familiar bloat. Today, Apple is still financially strong, but momentum is not a strategy. And if Apple is to lead the future in AR, AI, in new devices, in experiences, it needs the same thing it needed in 1997, a reset. Tim Cook has been an excellent operator. But Apple doesn't just need operations, it needs vision. It needs a builder, a storyteller, a leader who can restore focus and meaning to a product line that's become cluttered and cautious. That leader may be inside the company, or Apple may need to look outside. But one thing is clear. If Apple wants to avoid becoming the very company Steve Jobs once rescued, then Apple must once again choose clarity over confusion and leadership over complacency. Because Apple can do better, and Apple should expect better from itself.